Okay, welcome everybody back to Steve Talks Boxing X, STBX. And this week we're going to be talking about this fight, which is Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou, which is Friday's pay-per-view heavyweight clash. And joining me is my special guest this week is Enzo Maccarinelli, former world cruiserweight champion. Thanks for coming on the show, Enzo.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Yeah, brilliant. Nice to see you. My first question to you, Enzo, is quite a serious one. Are you going to be watching the fight on Sky or DAZN?
To be honest, I haven't actually thought about it. I might actually I probably will watch on Sky because I just find it just a bit easier. Click the red button and go on. But that doesn't make a difference to me.
Does it? You're not biased on commentary or any sort of thing like that at all?
To be honest, I think I've been on the game long enough. I don't actually listen to the commentary anymore. No. I won't let commentary sway my decisions and what I'm watching and things like that. So it doesn't really matter. But they both terrific platforms. There's also a lot of boxing. Sky have always been the front runners of boxing. They're starting to come back into it now. But I just think for me, rather than setting up the Fire Stick and putting the DAZN on and go with that, I can just press the red button on Sky.
So you're going with Sky. You heard it officially here. Enzo's going with Sky. So
yeah, for me, it's just a bit easier. I'm not tech savvy, so it's I like the easiness of my life.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Back to the boxing and back to Fury versus Ngannou. So let's go back to that fight. Would you say Ngannou was a bit unlucky in that fight?
No, I thought Fury won. I did think Fury won. I think when you break it down, you score it round by round.
Yeah.
Fury won the fight. He got his toes. He boxed a little bit more. But it all could have ended badly, and I think he totally dismayed the ability of Francis Ngannou. He thought he was just going to be a banger, typical powerhouse merchant crossing over from MMA. But what people got to realize, I know it's not the same, but the MMA fighters now, they learn boxing under professional boxing coaches. They run the gym with professional boxing fighters. They spar professional boxing fighters. So it's not like it was 10 years ago where they learned the box from a kickboxer. They learned the box from a wrestler who picked up a little bit of boxing over the years. They're actually studying and learning under professional fight coaches and learning under professional amongst other professional fighters. And I think with Mike Tyson coming on board as well, I think he done hell of a job because he made Ngannou wait. He made him throw second, or he's trying to throw second, where Fury likes people throwing first. Fury likes people coming at him. So they totally went against what Fury likes. So credit to Mike Tyson for coming up with that plan.
Yeah.
And credit for Ngannou executing that plan as well.
Yeah. I was going to say, why do you think this fight was actually made in the first place, going back to AJ and Ngannou? Was it a sort of a case of sort of one-upmanship that for AJ and Eddie to say, look, we're going to do a better job than Fury, like the William fight?
Well, of course it is. That's what it is. It's also marketability as well. And you think, with the performance Ngannou put on, it's a marketable name now. It would have sold before, just being the last UFC champion before he retired, fighting Joshua. It would have been marketable anyway. Now people are giving him much more of a chance of beating Joshua than what they would have before. Before being the case of the Mayweather-McGregor. Every boxing fan and every knowledgeable MMA fan knew he was one winner that night. And I think we thought we were thinking the same with Fury.
Yeah.
We would have thought the same with Joshua. But because of what he done, and there's a lot of people out there who didn't actually score the fight properly, may I add, they thought Ngannou won. It's a much more marketable fight,
Yeah. With well, some might say, you mentioned it before, maybe Fury was a bit unprepared, maybe training-wise for the Ngannou fight. Based on that, do you think AJ's got that 100% focus? He's not going to take this lightly?
Well, I don't care what anyone tells me. Fury didn't train properly for that fight. He looked slower than normal. He looked, he's never going to be body beautiful, but he looked flashier than normal. He was running out of steam after 4 or 5 rounds, which is not Fury. We know he's fit. So no, if he'd have lost, it was his own fault. He didn't take him serious enough, and it would have been his own fault. But any chance or any major chance Ngannou had for beating Anthony Joshua would have lied in the fact that no one's seen Ngannou. They didn't know what he could do. Now he's not much of a secret as he would have been before. So I think Anthony Joshua now is going to be fully focused on a very determined and tough individual.
Yeah, I think the clips I've seen so far, I know that AJ always looks in great shape, but again, he does look in good shape in preparation for this, from what I've seen anyway.
Yeah, he does, and I think Ben Davison is a perfect trainer for him as well.
Yeah,
I honestly think over the last couple of years, I think AJ has been overcoached. He's been trying to do things that's not comfortable for him. He's tried to make to do things which isn't first nature to him. It was all the trainer's idea. It was all what the train. It wasn't what AJ was good at. So Ben Davison really stripped it all back, got him back where he was. Not teaching him a great deal new, but basically bringing back the old methods. I know it was only Wallen and he boxed, and it was only Hellenius he knocked out. He still looked a little bit more like he used to.
Yeah,
being the aggressor. Up against Hellenius, he was that one having a great night. But when he committed to that final shot, that sparked the memories of what he can do.
He could do, I felt he was,
and he done that with Wallen.
Yeah, I felt in that fight he was building up to that moment, and you beat me to that question. One of my questions to you, Enzo, was obviously Ben Davison training. We're not seeing much from him, but obviously, is it? Would you say, based on what you just said, a different AJ than we're seeing now?
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm not saying he's beating all the world's best, but the way he looked when he committed that last shot against Hellenius, that sparked the memories. That sparked the memories of what he's good at. He knows what he's good at. Trying to be a boxer, trying to outbox Usyk, it was never going to work. So I don't know why they come up with that sort of plan. But obviously he's put his trust in his trainer. I think it was Garcia. I think it was Garcia from the Usyk fight, and he's put his trust in. And I bet, if he's very honest, I bet all the way through camp he knew that wasn't right for him. I've been there. I know others that have been there. And you just think, right, the trainer, listen to the trainer. It's not right. But he went through that. And I think with Ben Davison, it's basically, he's brought him back, stripped him back, brought him back to the old AJ. Time will tell how good this new version of AJ is, as good as the old version, when he steps up the challenges. But, he is looking good. He's looking more aggressive, and he's looking more like what people used to seeing from him.
Yeah. I was going to say, obviously, Davison used to train with obviously Fury. So if we ever get that fight, obviously, I don't know, there may be a bit of conflict of interest there for them. I'm guessing if Ben decides to stay with AJ, I'm guessing he probably will. So, but it'd be an interesting one.
Well, he's a man who's working. He's working for AJ now. So I don't think there'll be a conflict of interest. And Fury let him go. He went on the different trainer, went to Sugar Hills. Ben Davison's doing a job. So Ben's a smart man, and he knows what to do.
Going back to Ngannou, he's already stated that he would be returning to MMA after this fight. So was it all about the money for him, or did he seriously want to make a dent on the heavyweights there?
It could be the money. Obviously, the money obviously has persuaded him. He's probably made more in the Fury fight than he made his whole career in MMA. And so that's there. But obviously, getting an opportunity to become heavyweight champion of the world, be the first one ever
in one fight. Yeah.
or UFC heavyweight champion to world heavyweight champion of boxing in one fight.
Yeah.
But let's get this straight. You say he's returning to MMA. If he beats Anthony Joshua, you will not see him in MMA ever again.
No, because it sets up the money. It sets up more money fights, doesn't it? Really. So
of course it does. Of course it does. It's like he's a man. He's a man. AJ, arguably now, he's probably the third best heavyweight behind Fury and Usyk. And that place is Ngannou's end. EB wanted in the rematch with Fury. EB wanted a crack at Usyk for the titles. So if Ngannou wins, you won't see him in MMA ever again.
No. Talking about Ngannou, we know he can punch. If he catches AJ clean, can he knock him out?
Of course he can. They big men. Even someone who's not regarded as a puncher, don't man it, who flush on the chin or top of the head, it's gonna have an effect. So of course he can.
Yeah.
I don't think he will, but he can.
He can. I don't want your that fight prediction just yet, Enzo, but how do you see the fight going?
I actually think it'd be a little bit cautious from AJ. And I can see Ngannou using the same tactics that he did against Fury. Standing on the back leg, putting his weight on the back leg, sort of leaning back a little bit, hoping AJ reaches in. And I think AJ will take a few rounds to gain the distance and gauge his confidence, because he's got to be careful. He can't go wading in there. So I think it'll take about 5 or 6 rounds, and then he starts tipping away. And I actually think he stops Ngannou.
Yeah. Well, I was going to go for your prediction. So you're going for a late
stoppage, 9, maybe even the last round in 10.
Yeah, so late stoppage for Enzo Ngannou, even, not you. So we also have Parker and Zhang on the undercard. Many may say that that's probably one of maybe fight of the night, probably maybe better than Ngannou versus AJ. So how do you see that fight?
I was impressed with Parker against Wilder, obviously. Wilder did look a shadow of his former self. Let's not get that right. No matter what you say about Wilder, I know he has his criticism and stuff like that, but he has a big set of balls, and he's not afraid to let his hands go. And on that night, he wouldn't let his hands go. I don't know why. I don't know. I think we could go back to what happened to AJ being overcoached. I think he'd be really trying to teach Wilder new things, which don't work for him. What works for him is his awkwardness, his speed, and his power. Don't take that away from him. So I was impressed with Parker, disappointed with Wilder. So I'm not reading too much into it. But yet Zhang, I was impressed against Hrgovic, and I was impressed against Joyce.
Yeah. So, well, twice against Joyce, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So
I actually think he's going to stop Parker.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big semi, because obviously Parker's on the hot streak at the moment. Andy Lee's doing wonders there as well.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I just think Zhang's just going to be too big, and he knows what he's doing. He's very clever as well with that right hand. He'll draw you onto that left hand. He gauges it. He pulls it. He pushes it. He feints it. He's looking for that left hand. But if there's anyone come up with a plan to stay away from that left hand Zhang, I think Andy Lee's a man. I think he's a terrific trainer.
Yeah, I was going to say, because obviously he stayed away from Wilder for 12 rounds. Didn't get touched by Wilder. I know obviously it's a different fight, different opponent, but
Oh, the game plan against Wilder was brilliant. The
Mm-hmm.
game, you know, I don't want to use the excuse of Wilder not looking his best as an excuse for why Parker win. I thought he was brilliant. I think he bamboozled Wilder. I think he threw Wilder off. But ring rust is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ring rust is a real thing, and I actually believe Wilder has been overcoached, trying to be something he's not.
Yeah.
He's aggressive. He lets his hands go. He's not afraid, and he got a big set of balls. And against Parker, he showed absolutely none of that.
Yeah, yeah. Would you say you're looking forward to this fight better than the AJ Ngannou fight?
That's a good fight. I think the Nick Ball fight's a cracker as well.
Yeah.
I can't think of the guy's name from the air, but I was watching the clips of him earlier. That's going to be a thunderous fight. It's actually a good card.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's worth like anything under £20. It's probably pretty good value for money nowadays for pay-per-view anyway. So it should be good. Always end my show with some ending questions for you, Enzo. A quick one. Fury versus Usyk, obviously 18th of May. First of all, do you think we're going to see it happen?
Yeah, we will see it happen.
Mm-hmm. Regardless of the cut or anything. So
no,
you're quite optimistic on that.
Yeah, I will. Unless there's an injury, you know, it can't be out. You know, I heard some of these stupid rumors about Fury cutting his own eye and trying to get out.
Yeah.
But it will happen. And I've always said it. Fury beats Usyk.
Yeah, but that was my next question. Prediction: Fury versus Usyk.
Yeah, he's too big, too good. Knows how to use his advantage as well.
Yeah, and in regards to yourself, obviously we're seeing you a lot on X, Twitter. Obviously training a lot. Would you ever consider making a comeback, fighting maybe a YouTuber or social influencer personality? Would you?
I'm not interested, mate. I'm just not interested. I think if I was, I shouldn't be putting these clips out of me hitting the bag because I still look quite lethal.
Yeah, I was going to say you probably scare a few people off there, wouldn't you?
Yes. I don't think I get the phone call off Jake Paul to jump in, but you know, I'm happy. I'm training fighters. I've been coaching a long time. I got pros and actors. My two boys are boxing. I got a gym of 50 kids, and you know, they take up my time. If I was to fight again, I'd have to close the gym because I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm literally all in if I train properly.
Yeah.
No, but if I'd be literally all in, so I'd have to close the gym. And there's a lot of these kids who rely on me, and they do my head in. And if they watch this, you won't know which ones we do my fucking head in. But they're a good bunch of lads, and I want to make them fine. Right, whether they become world champions or not, I just want to make them fine young men and fine young.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So it's official, no comeback, no matter what. It
doesn't matter what. If I have a couple of million off of that,
a couple of mil may persuade it. Yeah, you never know. Last one for you, Enzo. What fight would you like to see most of all this year?
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm a big Ngannou fan. I'm a big Tank Davis fan. I'd love to see Hani and Tank. Yeah. Canelo Benavidez. I think Canelo Benavidez has war written all over it. Or I'd like to see Munguia and Benavidez. I think them styles match. Fury and Usyk I want to see. I want to see Joshua Fury. There's a couple out there.
There's not just one. There's a few. What about Bivol Beterbiev then?
Oh, sorry, I forgot that one. Yeah, I forgot that one. That is my top.
I'll let you off.
That is my top pick.
Yeah.
Bivol Beterbiev. Yes, that's a cracker.
Yeah, there's plenty of big fights out there to be made, isn't it? I think maybe last year we were spoilt with fights, and then obviously we got the unification this year. Hopefully, if it goes ahead, hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, we definitely want to see, you know, the best fighting the best, don't we, across all divisions, really. So
yeah, and I know with I can't pronounce his name, but they call him His Excellency. With the money he has and the money he's willing to put in, the fights can be made. And you know, I myself, I never treated boxing as a business. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to fight the best. I never ducked no one. I didn't want to duck no one. I didn't try and bargain for my extra money. I just love fighting.
Love fighting, yeah.
But now boxing is a business, and people treat it like a business, and you know, they want to make as much money as they can. And with this guy out in Saudi Arabia, he's chucking the money, he's putting the fights together. So
yeah,
you know, we're all got to take your hats off to him.
Yeah. Do you think that the boxing in Saudi, I know you're going to touch on this one, is a good thing then, or a bad thing? Because there's a bit of negativity coming from it, obviously, because the fights are over in Saudi. The fans don't really get to see the fights, you know, the big fights. You know, everyone would love to see, I guess, Fury versus Usyk in the UK, wouldn't they? You know, feel like Wembley.
That's it's always going to be people mourning. It's always going to be people mourning.
Yeah.
If they're mourning now that these fights are going to be out in Saudi, and like myself, most of them should be in the UK. You know, the likes of Fury and Joshua, if it happens. Fury and Usyk should be in the UK. But then people are mourning that these fights don't happen. But when they do happen, they're mourning they're not somewhere else.
Yeah.
So you just can't win.
You can't please some people.
As long as they happen, I'm happy.
Yeah, and obviously the Saudi money helps make them happen, doesn't it? Really, so
of course it do.
Yeah, it does. Brilliant. Well, that's it for the show. Thanks again, Enzo, for your time. Really appreciate you coming onto the show. Again, everyone, please support the channel as best you can with likes, subscriptions, comments, and obviously enjoy the fights on Friday.